Have you ever stopped mid-sentence and thought, whoa, who is that person talking and why do they sound nothing like the version of myself in my head? We've all had those moments, right? Where our voices seem to run on autopilot, totally misinterpreting what we're actually trying to say. Maybe you're usually super chill, but suddenly you sound like a nervous chipmunk in a presentation. Or you try to sound assertive and morph into some overly aggressive drill sergeant. Ugh, it's the worst. But here's the thing. You have more control over those scenarios than you realize. So today we're upgrading your vocal skills so that you can sound confident, gentle, persuasive, whatever the situation calls for. Let's get into it. The first step in mastering your voice is becoming truly aware of how you use it naturally. So let's play a quick listening game. I'll say a few phrases and see if you can pinpoint both the mood and a scenario where it might fit. Oh my gosh, guys, this pizza is amazing. Okay, so what do you think? You might think catching up with friends and discovering a new favorite spot. I happen to love pizza myself, so that would be super enthusiastic. Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. So you can imagine comforting a stressed colleague or maybe a child who's had a bad day, right? This would be your calm and reassuring voice and phrasing. We need to stick to the plan if we want to finish this project on time. So this could be a project meeting where things are getting sidetracked and you've got to be firm but fair. So let's add a few more to the mix. Oh yeah, that idea sounds really productive. So maybe this is a meeting where someone's just suggested a totally impractical solution and you might be slightly sarcastic. Okay, just one more cup of coffee and then we can tackle this. All right, this might be a late night work session where you're fighting sleep, but with the deadline looming. So you are utterly exhausted, but you're also very determined. I'm so sorry, I totally messed that up. Let me figure out a way to fix it, okay? So this is owning up to a mistake, no excuses. And you are genuinely apologetic. Now for the fun part, the mismatch. So imagine those exact lines in totally wrong scenarios. So the pizza rave to a professor when turning in an assignment late, instantly awkward. Exhausted but determined to your plant after you've forgotten to water it for a week? Yeah, the plant doesn't care. Sarcastic in a performance review with your boss? Bold strategy, let's see how that plays out. Now, why does this matter? Because often we don't realize how much the subtlety of our voice changes from setting to setting. Building this awareness is the first step towards intentionally shaping how you come across. Segment 2, your vocal toolbox. Now, why do we slip into these weird voice traps? Think of your voice as a complex instrument. It's got tons of controls that you might not even know are there. So let's break down those hidden settings and add a few more to your toolkit. Volume. Being loud doesn't always equal confident. Sometimes intentionally lowering your volume makes people lean in and pay closer attention. But volume isn't just loud to quiet. Dynamic range within a sentence adds emphasis. So raising your voice slightly on a crucial word makes it stand out. Speed. Nervousness makes us speed talk. like speed walking, there's speed talking. Slowing it down gives gravitas to your words and projects calm authority. However, too slow sounds unnatural. Varying your pace is effective, so speeding up slightly to show passion and enthusiasm, and then slowing down to hammer home a point. Pitch. Here's where self-awareness is key. We all have a natural resting pitch. Going slightly lower can be authoritative, but too low sounds forced and contrived. High pitch can convey excitement or nervousness. Experiment with subtle shifts for different effects and have fun practicing this in the comfort of your own home, in front of the mirror, just checking out what kinds of these subtle shifts have as an effect on your communication. Pauses, hugely underrated. A few seconds of silence after a key point lets it land. It also gives you time to think and prevents you from rambling. It also gives the people who are listening to you some processing time. Even those short pauses mid-sentence can actually change the emphasis, so pepper them in. Intonation. This is the melody of your speech. Up talking, where your sentences end in a question all the time, even when they're not, well, that undermines your confidence. A slightly downward tone at the end of statements sounds more decisive, but take care not to sound monotonous. So we really do want that inflection to change, right? So variety in your intonation. Emphasis. Similar to volume, this is highlighting specific words or phrases within a sentence to guide the listener's focus. It can involve slightly increasing volume, slowing down, or even a subtle change in pitch. Breath. Seems obvious, but how you breathe affects absolutely everything. Shallow breaths make your voice tight and tense. Focus on deep belly breaths for better support and calmer tones. Now, a note on authenticity. The most important thing isn't to perfectly mimic some ideal voice. It's actually about finding the range within your natural voice and using these tools intentionally. Try all the things that I'm sharing with you on for size and find the authentic way of using these strategies for you. It's all about intention. Knowledge is great, knowledge is powerful, but this is a skill that you build through doing, okay? So you've got to practice. Let's try some common scenarios and add a few more to the mix. So a job interview. You want to focus on clear pronunciation, moderate speed. You're competent, but you're also warm. Practice your intro pitch. What is your tell me about yourself answer? What makes you unique? And why are you excited about this opportunity? Don't forget body language. Mirroring the interviewer's posture subtly, without being overly obvious, can build rapport. What about asking for a raise? Here's where you prepare bullet points. Outline your achievements, not just responsibilities. Keep your tone respectful, asking for what you deserve, not demanding. Practice those key numbers that demonstrate your value. Giving negative feedback. Aim for constructive, not destructive. Be specific about the issue. Focus on the problem, not the person. The person is not the problem is the problem. Offer potential solutions to that specific issue and keep your voice even. Avoid overly emotional language and start with a positive if possible, like acknowledging their effort. Then transition into the area needing improvement. Dealing with a difficult customer, staying calm when someone's fuming is the ultimate test. Slightly slower speech, a level tone, and focusing on solutions. Even if they're not immediately happy, you'll sound in control. So phrases like, I understand your frustration. Let's see how we can fix this. Go a long way. Presentations. Record yourself. Yes, it's brutal at first, but pinpointing your trouble spots is vital. Look for places where your pitch spikes nervously, filler words creep in, those ah, ooh, yeah, likes, you knows, or when your energy drops. Talking to someone that you find intimidating, whether it's a boss or a crush, our voices often betray us. Focus on your breathing to center yourself. Consciously lower the pitch of your first few sentences to project calm. Moments you need to be persuasive, whether it's convincing your team on a strategy or getting your kids to eat their vegetables, try playing with volume dynamics. Emphasize key benefits to them, showing why it's in their interest. Tips for realistic practice. So don't just say the words, visualize the situation. Put yourself in that social setting. The more real it feels, the better you'll train your brain to respond in the actual moment. And try recording yourself, even if it makes you squirm. It's actually the quickest way to progress. Get a practice buddy. Taking turns in these roles provides immediate feedback. And feel free to share with me in the comments down below if there's a specific type of situation that you find particularly tricky. We can always talk about this and I can point you to some tailored practice. Let me know if you have any weird vocal quirk that's been bugging you, and there's probably a fix for that. Speaking of finding those fixes and leveling up your communication, I want to give a shout out to our amazing community, Explearning Academy. It's a professional development platform focused on exactly what we're talking about, improving your communication skills and social fluency. Why does this matter? Well, whether it's nailing an interview, having difficult conversations with confidence, or simply feeling confident and more comfortable in any type of social interaction, how you communicate has a huge impact on your work and personal life. Explearning Academy offers a range of solutions, and something really unique is our small group coaching program, our Executive Communication Lab group coaching plan. There you get targeted practice in those real-life scenarios that we've been discussing, personalized feedback, and the support of a community who are all working on the same thing, better communication skills. So if this sounds like something that could help you, then I highly recommend that you check out our website. We have tons of information there with the details of our different programs and also testimonials from our members, what they have to say about our program and our methodology. So go to academy.explearning.co for all those details. All right, let's get back to the lesson with some advanced voice techniques. Are you ready for the next level? Let's dive into trickier scenarios, common pitfalls, and how to subtly adjust for maximum impact. Negotiating. You need to be assertive without being a bulldozer. Mirroring the other person's volume and pace is a great start, but listen closely to their word choices. Do they use lots of tentative language? Maybe, possibly, perhaps. If so, slightly firmer phrasing on your part creates contrast. Do they favor short, direct statements? Match that to avoid seeming evasive. Public speaking. Recording yourself is a must. Listen for filler words. Like, you know, phrases, and any weird pitch fluctuations. But also pay attention to breathiness, a sign of nerves. Doing some deep breathing exercises beforehand truly helps. Influencing a group. It's not just what you say, but the energy behind it. If everyone's super low key, intentionally bringing your volume and pitch slightly higher shifts the dynamic. If the room is buzzing, matching that intensity is key, but slow down your speed slightly to maintain clarity. Diffusing tension. When emotions are high, your voice is your superpower. Go counterintuitive. So lower your volume, keep your tone even, and focus on solution-oriented questions like, what would be a helpful outcome here? Reading the room. This is a skill that you build over time. Pay attention to how people react to different speakers. Is there a tone that gets everyone engaged versus one that makes them tune out? Subtly adjust on the fly, but stay authentic to yourself. Now, troubleshooting specific pitfalls. Mumbling. So do a tongue twister warm up. Try the tip of the tongue, the lips, the teeth. It also helps to exaggerate your expressions slightly when practicing to boost clarity. Monotone. Picture your voice as a line graph. It shouldn't be flat. Practice a short sentence, emphasizing a different word each time to see how meaning shifts. I didn't take your keys versus I didn't take your keys. Voice cracking. Often nerves and shallow breathing. So a few big inhales and exhales before you start really helps. Start your first sentence on a slightly lower note. So the biggest thing I want for you to take away is this. Your perfect voice is already in there. You just might need to tweak the settings. So don't be afraid to experiment. Try things on for size. Try these strategies out. Record yourself. Analyze the recording and get some real feedback from somebody you trust. Our community is here for you. Now, let me know in the comments which situations are trickiest to navigate for you, and maybe we can do a follow-up video with even more tips. And finally, if this whole voice journey was helpful, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share the channel, and let's build up that vocal confidence together to get your communication skills where they need to be. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now and happy exploring, everyone.